going in and going through this process is based on the September 27th, 2017 evaluation policy that was approved for this. And this is for funding for the MAG planning areas within Pinal County. And just as the reminder, the criteria is based on the 6 quantitative criteria that was part of the application that makes up 65%. And then 7 qualitative or subjective criteria that was the committee project ranking and the ranking that you guys provided in the last month. Next slide, please. So again, the call for projects was issued in July of 2020. We had approximately $1.34 million that was available for fiscal year 23 and 24. As Maria said, we had 1 application that was received. We did present the application last month, and you guys went over and certified the reasonableness and accuracy of the application, and then you provided the subjective scores. And so we're just giving that ranking output now. Next slide, please. All right, so this slide is going in and it's presenting the information. This was some of the initial information for the project of just the location from Apache Junction. It's Winchester Road for 29th Avenue to Southern Avenue for the expansion of the roadway going from 2 lanes to 3 lanes for just under half a mile. Next slide. All right, so this is the quantitative data. We pulled this directly from the application. All of this was provided in the packet that went out to you, so I'm not going to go over the details, but this was just pulling that information that we fed into the tool. Next slide, please. Then this is the subjective information or the qualitative. This was the information that you as the committee provided scores for. So thank you everyone for going in and submitting that. It was ranking everything on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest score, 5 being the highest, based on the regional connectivity, the proximity to activity centers, the intersection throughput improvement, improvements to safety, jurisdictional policy, and then community involvement. And so by and large, you can see that the average scores for everybody who ranked the project fairly high. Next slide, please. Again, this was based on the committee ranking. You guys were asked as part of that to rank the projects. We only had 1, so obviously that's the score that we have here. Next slide. And this information provides the combined results when we ran it through the tool. So going in and it provides the quantitative score, the qualitative score, and then we combine that with the committee ranking to go in. And this was obviously the highest ranked project. Next slide, please. Again, if we would have had more than 1, we could prioritize them, but obviously we don't. So this was just going in and showing the information that was there. Next slide, please. Right, so the requested action for today is that we recommend the approval of the programming of the fiscal year 23 and 24 Pinal County Arterial Bridge Project and the associated tip listings to be added to the fiscal year 20 to 24 MAG tip and also to the 2040 Regional Transportation Plan update. If anybody, unless anybody has any questions, that will conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. Does anybody have any questions? Hearing none, could I have a motion to recommend the project to go to the TRC committee? Please indicate your motion.
David Fabiano, Town of Gilbert, so moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. As this requires for us to recommend, Steve is going to go through a roll call and everybody's asked to vote yes or nay. Please, Steve, proceed. Steve? If he is not available, then I will do the roll call. Let me get that.
So, he just jumped back on, Maria.
Okay, Grant?
Aye.
Charles Andrews?
Aye.
John Kraft?
Aye.
Matthew Reed?
Aye.
Bryce Christo?
Aye.
David Fabiano,
Aye.
Angela Horn,
Aye.
Jennifer Jack,
Aye.
Sunil Garg,
Aye.
Kevin Lair, Kevin or any representative from the city of Chandler. Okay, Ariane Laurent,
This is Arian. We have no vote for next officio.
sorry, Paul Lopez,
Aye.
Jamie McCracken, Jamie or any representative from the city of Towson. Okay. Brad Novacek,
Aye.
Steve O'Brien, Greg McDowell,
Aye.
Dana Oceani,
Aye.
Germán Piedrahita.
Aye.
Thank you. Patrick Sage,
Aye.
Christopher Salas,
Aye.
Emil Schmidt,
Aye.
Brent Skalgren, Brent or any representative from the town of Paradise Valley. Dave Minhart,
Aye.
Brandon Squire. Oh. John Dixon, John Dixon or any representative from the city of Phoenix.
Aye.
Thank you. Anybody that I missed or I went forward that didn't vote? Okay. With a motion and a second and with the members poll on the phone or on the computer, the motion passes. Thank you very much. Item number 6. And this October 13th, the street committee reviewed the applications for MAC paving of unpaved roads to be funded with CMAC funds and forwarded to the applications to the Air Quality Technical Advisory Committee for air quality scoring. On October 22nd, the Air Quality Committee recommended a score and prioritized the list to be given to the Transportation Review Committee for funding. Patrick Stone will now present some of the programming scenarios. Patrick?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the Street Committee. Next slide, please. I'm going to apologize in advance. As I looked at this presentation, these are a little bit hard to read. But what it is I'm providing to the committee is 3 scenarios. One is the baseline funding scenario. So this is just taking the applications as they were submitted to MAG, showing the years that were requested by each of the member agencies, and then ranked by air quality score. So in this baseline scenario for FY23, we had 2 projects, the Chandler Paving 1 project and the Scottsdale Paving 1 project. And then similarly in FY24, we had the 2 Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community projects, 1 Gilbert project and the 2nd Chandler project. What you can see is the total amount of funding in each year, 5.2 million for FY23 and just approximately, 6 million for FY24. Applying the applications, we were underprogrammed in FY23, overprogrammed in FY24. So what I done is I've taken these two scenarios or the listing of projects, and I've applied them to two different scenarios. One is a scoring scenario, one is a funding scenario. So if we can get the next slide, please. Thank you. So this is the scoring scenario. Instead of looking at the years, we looked at how the projects scored and ensured that the best scoring projects were fully funded. What this has had the effect is it's shifted one of the Chandler projects, the Chandler 2 paving project, up into FY23, and then it's moved and so what we've done there is we've ensured that we have, and I apologize to the committee, it's kind of hard to understand, but there's an air quality score. So what I've done is I've taken and ensured that going by order of air quality score, we funded every project. So what we've ended up doing is shifting one of the projects. What it has the net effect of doing is putting me under-programmed in 24, over-programmed in 23. This is just a purely scoring exercise, has no basis in funding availability, but said, hey, if we just looked at the scores, where would the projects fall out? Next slide, please. So then this is the funding scenario, if you will. And what this did is it attempted to maximize funding while also being true to the scoring criteria. So what this ends up doing is you can see we have the Chandler 1 and Chandler 2 projects in FY23 with a portion of the Scottsdale project in FY23. And then similarly, the Salt River Pima Maricopa projects are in 24 along with the Gilbert project and then the balance of the Scottsdale project. What this has the effect of doing is it splits the Scottsdale project into 2 construction years to ensure that it's has the most funding available in any one year. So the goal here is to try and find the best balance of looking at the scoring and then looking at where the dollars are available. It doesn't line up perfectly at this point. So what we'll be doing is reaching out to the member agencies and having a conversation about the projects and discussing potentials for adjusting funding years, understanding that the preference goes to those that have the best scoring project. And with that, I'll conclude my presentation, Madam Chair, and open it up to questions.
Thank you. So that I understand a little bit of this, so we're still working on the options and you're going to reach to the member agencies that have a project here. So will we take possible action to recommend this to go to the TRC at the December meeting?
Madam Chair, that would be correct. The thing we wanted to do here in a air of transparency was to make sure the committee had seen the scoring and the score rankings from their quality scoring prior to having the conversations with the member agencies. And also it helps such that if there are questions or any way we can improve the process, getting that feedback from the member agencies is critical as well.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, Dave Meinhardt, Scottsdale, a question on the air quality score. Patrick, is that calculated based on the request for federal funds or the total estimated cost of the project?
Mr. Meinhardt, Madam Chair, Dave, I'll have to reach out and double check on that. My understanding is it's on the total project cost, but I'll follow up on that.
Chair, I can answer that. No, it used to, at one point in time, it was based on the total cost. It is now based on the federal cost of the project.
Thank you. Just having looked through the applications, there was a pretty significant difference on requests on how much was coming from local, especially in the design area. So I was curious as to how that was factored in.
So Patrick, remind me, will we get to see the option that goes to the TRC before it goes, or will this just be something that you work out with the member agencies and present directly to the TRC?
Madam Chair, the intent would be to have this come back to streets so that they can actually recommend approval similar to what we've done with the other calls for projects. So the intent is to have the preferred scenario back in front of the committee.
Okay, thank you. So this will come back with the preferred scenario December 8th, where we will recommend for this to move forward.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Grant?
I'd like to ask a question. Since we found out the answer Dave, Mr. Meinhardt raised, I don't like the answer. Air quality should be based upon the total price of the project, because if the locals want to put more in, the air quality is still improved. If it's based upon the federal dollars only, it's only based upon the share coming from the federal government and doesn't reflect the quality of the improvement. So I think it should be based upon the total cost of the project.
You tell me. You tell me. Out of it now.
Yeah. Madam Chair, Mr. Anderson, that's a good point. As Grant, and I think what we'll do is we will take that offline and we'll go back to our air quality staff and have that conversation. I think you do bring us up a point. You do want to make sure you're comparing projects and scoring projects equally.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any additional comments? Okay, hearing none, let's proceed with item number 7. On October 22nd, the Air Quality Technical Advisory Committee recommended funding priorities for PM10 certified street sweepers to the MAG Management Committee. Sweepers that are ranked too low to receive funding will be included in the MAG closeout with priority based on the air quality tech priority list. This item is for information only. Is Patrick, are you presenting this item too?
Madam Chair, I don't know if there was much to present on this. Steve, did we have a presentation behind this? Or I see Kristen marking next slide.
Mr. Chair, there is no presentation on this item. It just simply shows the street sweepers ranked by air quality score, and then the cutoff line for funding that's available in this call for projects. The air quality TAC moved to simply fund them based on air quality score. The remaining projects that do not receive funding are to receive priority in the closeout based on the air quality scores.
Okay. Thank you. And I saw that the priority list that was provided by the air quality was in the agenda that all of you received, was part of the exhibits that one had. I don't see it here, but I will try to get it so we can place it up on screen. Without any additional comments, let's proceed to item 8, that is the traffic count program. ADOT will provide an update to the ADOT traffic counting program. Ms. Sage Donaldson will provide a presentation. This item is for information and discussion only. Please proceed.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you having us here and giving us the opportunity to quickly update everybody and discuss some stuff. You can go ahead and go to the next slide now. So quickly before we get into it, we wanted to highlight the annual call for traffic counts each year from MAG. Mostly, to provide traffic count data via the magtrans.org MS2 site is the preferred method to provide that traffic count data from member agencies. However, MAG said that it is okay to get it to them directly if needed. I also want to point out here that ADOT is more than willing to provide one-on-one trainings on uploading that traffic count data to the MS2 site, but we also do have some good story map tutorials available on the ADOT Data Analytics website that everyone can use to learn how to upload that information. I also just want to point out that the calendar for uploading this information to MS2, preferred to the magtrans.org site, is February 1st of 2021. You can go ahead and go to the next slide now. Perfect. So now I just want to quickly go into some, just a little update on the ADOT statewide traffic program. So we've got about 50% of the non-state system missing in raw traffic counts. And you can see that most of the data gaps are on new federal aid roads, and mostly because of the functional classification rebalancing that was conducted last year. We do have a gap report available both in an Excel sheet and also in an online map that you can see here in this picture. And we can provide that Excel spreadsheet. Another thing I want to point out there is we have updated this information from what we had presented in July at the last street committee meeting in July. Jothan, is there anything you want to add to this? Jothan or Adam, sorry.
This is Jothan Samuelson with Works Consulting, assisting Sage Donaldson and ADOT on this project. I think Sage effectively covered the main points. I think it's important to note that this ability to provide local agencies with feedback on where the traffic counts are still missing for the HPMS report, that's not something that we were able to do very easily in the past, but we can now. And so we do hope that as local agencies are structuring and developing their count programs each year, that information received from ADOT, both in the form of this online map and in the Excel version of this, can serve to inform where you decide to count traffic. I know that a significant portion of what's currently shown as a data gap is more a result of the data not being shared to the MS2 site, to the magtrans.org site. And in most cases, the local agency is in fact managing a very solid and high quality traffic counting program. But there is still more progress to be made in sharing that data with the MS2 site on a regular basis.
Awesome, thank you, Jothan. And yeah, and to further go to that, we really are with this statewide traffic count program trying to provide more coordination between ADOT and local resources as far as traffic counting goes. So we're here to support. Next slide, please. Thank you. So just a quick summary of just talked about here. The annual call for traffic data. Please share that traffic data information on the magtrans.org site. And again, like I had said in the first slide as well, we have tutorials up on the data analytics ADOT website, but please also feel free to send myself or Jothan or Adam, Jothan Samuelson, Adam Langford from Works Consulting an email, and we'd be more than happy to schedule a one-on-one training session for that. And then also just an update on those data gaps that we discussed previously and that Jothan just talked about. There is that link there that you can go look at a map, but also email us if you'd like a Excel spreadsheet of it. Yeah, so Jothan or Adam, anything else before? If anyone has any questions also, please feel free.
I think the only other point there, Sage, is I know MAG has made it very clear that they're interested and willing to receive traffic counts, even by email directly to Mr. Wang Zhang. So even if an agency is not equipped to load the data to the magtrans.org site, we do still very much hope that the counts can be sent into MAG. And I believe the earlier slide also said that even if you did not collect traffic counts in the 2020 calendar year, you're requested to report back to Mr. Steve Tate and or Wang Zhang in indicating that you haven't collected traffic counts. So do please report back one way or the other.
Yes, thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Sage. So will your email be sent to MAG and then forwarded to all member agencies just to make sure that we convey the correct information to those that manage the program at the different agencies? Sage?
Sorry, I think I lost connection for a second there. What was that question? I'm so sorry.
Okay, so the question was, will you be able to provide a summary of your request via email to MAG, who will then distribute it to the member agencies? We just need to make sure that the correct information goes to those that manage the traffic count at the different agencies. So if you're able to provide a summary or even the presentation slides that you used, I think that would be of a benefit to all agencies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Does anybody have any additional questions? If not, I had requested Patrick to see if he could bring forward the list that ranked the PM10 sweepers. And I know that Mesa, we had asked, so that's the reason for my request to see where we are. Thank you, Patrick.
No, not a problem. And thank you, David, for getting this up. This is the score ranking here. As you can see, for the FY 2021 cycle, there was 1.42 million in CMAQ funding available. Again, this list is ranked by score. The first 4 projects you see on page 1 here are the 4 City of Phoenix projects. David, if we could get the next slide, please. And then here's where the cutoff line is. So we have the Chandler project and then the Glendale project. And essentially the Glendale project is right where we would break and we would be over program. As it stands right now, we wouldn't be able to fully fund the Glendale sweeper. And then we have the Mesa and Surprise. And real quickly, David, can we go to the next slide and then we'll come back? And then you can see we also have the second Surprise and the 2 Buckeyes. If we can move up back one more slide. Thank you so much. Awesome. So what we're looking at here is for closeout funding, potentially sliding over the Glendale project, the Mesa project, the 2 Surprise projects, and then the 2 Buckeye sweepers. And those would all be considered for closeout.
Patrick, I do have a question. If the PM10 sweepers go to closeout, will it still be the same rate of reimbursement?
Correct. The nice thing with street sweepers is they're at the 94.3 federal, 5.7 local match. No different for sweepers and closeout versus sweepers that were directly funded in the call for projects.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Patrick.
Are there any other questions on this list from anyone else?
Chair Deebs, Mr. Stone, this is Patrick Sage with City of Glendale.
Hi,
Just
Patrick.
a quick question. Hi, just a quick question on process.
Mhm.
As a local that wants to make sure we get into the closeout fund process for the street sweeper project, do we have to take any action on the city's behalf at this time, or is this kind of an automatic process?
I think in the past it'd been, we'll say, sort of automatic. When we did the closeout request and sent out the memo to all the member agencies and through our committees, the ask was just to acknowledge, hey, we're still interested. So obviously in this case, Maria's reached out. You're reaching out for the City of Glendale. So the other ones would be Surprise and Buckeye. If you still want to be considered for the sweepers and considered for closeout, if you can just send me a quick email, it doesn't have to be any fancy, nothing on letterhead, just saying, hey, we'd like our sweeper application to be considered for closeout. And that can be sent to myself at, it's pstone, Pstone, @ azmag.gov. And
Very good.
as Kristen had mentioned in her report earlier, the deadline for closeout is this Friday at 5 p.m.
Thank you. And I think that answers also Paul Lopez's question he had on the chat. And Kristen, thank you very much for providing Patrick's email on the chat box. Okay. So let's proceed to item number 9. That is request for future agenda items. Does anybody want to bring forward any items for the future December 8th meeting? And again, if you want us to look into having an agenda or an item considered for agenda, please reach out to Kristen or I. Thank you very much. Item number 10 is updates from member agencies. This is an opportunity for member agencies to provide updates to others regarding what's occurring in their agency. I just would like to say that Mesa had a question in the November 3rd for bond, in which we had a bond for 100 million for transportation projects. It was approved, I believe, close to 70% of the votes approved it. So we're moving forward with this bond. This will allow us to provide the funding we need for ALCP projects and also our maintenance projects. Any other members would like to update?
Maria, what city was it?
I am from the city of Mesa.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Maria. This is Angela. I just wanted to let everyone know that our interactive map for our Transportation System Plan 2040, the comment period ended yesterday. We still have the map open for any additional comments. We did receive upwards of 600 comments. We will be splitting that out and make that available to everyone by jurisdiction as well as by BOS area. I will be giving that to our advisory committee, but I just want to let all the member agencies know that we did receive quite a few different comments in other agencies, and we will be providing that information to you for your own use.
Thank you. Any other member agency want to provide updates?
Madam Chair, Emil Schmidt, Apache Junction. Just wanted to let everybody know that last week the State Land Department had an auction for a parcel just under 3,000 acres south of our city in an area that will be annexed into Apache Junction, immediately east of the Meridian Drive alignment, or Meridian Road for all you Maricopa County folks. So we anticipate probably a year or two from now seeing some arterial road alignments being planned and for some interconnectivity between us and City of Mesa. So that's coming up on the horizon for us.
Emil, how wide was that parcel, the 3,000 acres? What was the east to west on it, limits on it?
County line east to the CAP canal. It did not go all the way down south to the SR24, the parcel that was sold, but the annexation, I believe, will go down to the SR24 alignment.
Thank you.
Emil, will that modify Apache Junction's boundary and also what is included in the MAC region?
This area will be annexed into the city at some point. As far as the sale parcel does not extend beyond the county line, so it's contained within Pinal County.
Okay.
But we do still have that portion north of Apache Trail that's in Maricopa County, small little area.
Okay, thank you. Any additional updates? Okay, hearing none, I just wanted to close letting everybody know that the next meeting is going to be December 8th, and it's going to be a virtual meeting. And I appreciate everybody's participation, and have a safe holiday season.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.